Yeah. Am
or
I unwell? Yeah. Yeah. I
am I
got you.
unwell?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what if I had take these struggles to that class? Are they gonna, like, sometimes I have a whole different sets of stories with spine surgeries and stuff. And sometimes, especially at church, somebody will say, "You don't need that." And I'm like, "What? I don't need what? You could get out. Wheelchair. Yeah, you don't need that wheelchair." And it's just like the craziest thing I ever heard of.
Well, perfect, Randy. Let's take that to transition into talking about people living with an invisible disability. Many people
Okay.
think of disabilities as visible. So, can you
Right.
share what it's like living with an injury that people just they can't see? What's that like? What kinds of reactions do you get from people? And I imagine
Today,
there's people that are unkind from time to time.
absolutely,
Yeah. Because they don't
absolutely.
understand. But
Yeah, I'll get used to saying, if we're on this conversation on this phone call, if I'm saying a lot, just change the
mm,
subject. Or a lot of times I like independent living skills
mm-hmm.
from Rolling Start. And the best thing about that is I took those classes over and over and over and over and over again. And so did Barbara. And in those classes, it kind of reminds me of martial arts that I used to do in my life. You do something repetitively, it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
So instead of memory for me, give me a habit, you
Yeah,
know? Then it's there without memory. Does that make sense?
Yes,
totally.
absolutely.
Yeah, because then I do the same thing with my bills. Everything is paid on the day it needs to be paid. I got accounts for I've been paying, like, the electric, gas, and all that stuff over 15 years and never missed a payment. Thank God, you know.
But it's
And
because you've turned it into a habit because your short-term memory doesn't stick around
Yeah.
yeah,
to
turn it
remind
in
you.
exactly. Turn it into habit. Not only that is anybody around me share that with them, asking to remind me of things
Hmm.
is something. I don't know. People get tired of that, but Barbara's never gotten tired of
You're
it.
like, you're my exterior brain. You have to
Yeah,
help me.
Yes,
Yes.
I
Barbara's my
like it.
memory bank.
Right. Your human memory bank. She'll help you out.
Exactly.
So you're kind of alluding to it now, but I want to ask, how has your TBI affected your day to day life, your memory, your energy, focus, emotions, that kind of thing?
Yeah. Prescriptions. Going through different prescriptions and going to the pharmacy to get them or have Sharon get them is the same thing I do with groceries. I have to get help with it and I have to do it myself. Like I called the pharmacy a thousand times asking about the same prescription and they got to where they know me and they don't mind at all. That's one good thing I like about being repetitive
Mm-hmm.
with things. Anybody listening to this right now, I would really love just to share with them on persons that might acquire a traumatic brain injury in their life, like their brother, their aunt, their sister, and stuff like that. That there is hope to live independent life of their choice. Still, even though they barely can walk, they can't barely talk, and they can't do this, they can't do that. And that's a real difficult time because at the same time, they have a whole new life to do, which now they need to get on disability. Now they have this different change. And then all these good things to work on too is so exciting because I always felt like, oh, I'm going to be able to get Randy back, do this back, do that back. But that's not happening with counselors and stuff. I learned to build a new Randy, build an exciting new Randy. And what the new Randy likes to do is share resources and help persons in the same situation as me. For instance, what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to get back to being a Randy one time. I just had the feeling I'm going to do this anyways, and stuff like that. And I went to the DMV and I asked, what's it going to take to get my driver's license back? And they says, well, just show us you can drive and you can do it. So I did that, got my driver's license. And then with Ticket to Work, I got that in the mail. And then also with Rolling Start, I was in Department of Rehab. It turned out where I'm spending over a year and a half in rehab, not getting anywhere because of the difficulties that I have and having to succumb to, okay, Randy's going to be a new Randy now.
I was going to say, I don't know the old Randy, but the new Randy's pretty terrific.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right? It's a
I'm
labor
lucky
of
to have
love.
a good attitude, good spirit, and I love to laugh at difficulties. That's kind of funny, but that worked with my dad because let me see, he would take bad things and extremely kind of make it a good thing. Well, for example, is his jokes. His jokes, there's no holdback on my dad's jokes. And I found out also through different support groups through Rolling Start where people need a laugh in the middle of all the chaos, all the middle of you would think that somebody in a horrible situation doesn't want to hear a joke about a horrible situation. But I learned that that's not really true. We have to have laughter.
No, totally.
I don't know what takes me to all that right now, but
it was a necessary statement. So it's a
it
true
was.
statement.
It was.
All right, so I'll going to redirect us to. Do you ever feel misunderstood or misjudged because of your invisible disability?
Yeah. Years ago, it seemed that when I'd have the meetings at being on the board at Rolling Start, it would seem like I'm not heard, but I guess there's words that come out of my mouth that's a different word than I think it is or something because I'll have this real good idea about some resource somewhere, something, and it just doesn't pick up with anybody, doesn't go nowhere, and then somebody else in the crowd will have that same exact idea what I just said. And then the whole group is, oh yeah, that's good. Let's do that. And I'm just sitting there. Am I not heard?
Randy, just so you know,
I'm biting my tongue.
I probably mentioned this to Addie. I experienced the same thing.
Okay.
At board meetings. Yes. I'll say something. I think I've even said before, is there an echo in here?
Exactly.
Because I'll say something and nothing, crickets. And then somebody else will say some wonderful idea. Let's do that. So,
right.
but somebody said something that really helped me was that you don't always have to take credit, or get credit.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and that's helped me a lot.
I think you and Randy should sit together.
Yes.
You can look at each other
right.
like,
there you go. I think what you did, Doug, is they heard you say that and you put it in their brain and then their brain returned it into something that they're saying.
Yeah, maybe they made it make more sense. Maybe that's it, right?
Their name's Repeat and your name's Pete. My dad always used to say Pete and Repeat.
Exactly.
So what kinds of things do people say and you can kind of tell they're not really understanding what your situation is, or are they dismissive, but you look fine, things like that?
Yeah. A lot of things are finishing my sentences, finishing my conversation, or because I'm taking time to say this and that. That's fine. I'm completely healthy with that. I like that. I'm glad I can like that because that happens quite a bit and I appreciate it. But I'm thinking to where it could be something that I wouldn't like in certain people, I don't know really how to explain that one.
That's all right. Well, tell us about the new Randy. What's going on in your life now? What are you doing? What are your passions?
I learned how to do advocacy, which I love to spend time on it. Now I'm on a break with Rolling Start. Now I'm friends of the board right now for a year duration, I think.
I think a year, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can get back on after that.
Yep.
But besides Rolling Start, we sit on 2 different committees with IAHP right now.